Now I already did a video on Ziad Fazah, but unfortunately for copyright reasons it was taken down. So let me just verbally explain myself. So, Ziad Fazah is a Lebanese guy who currently lives in Brazil and who remarkably was born in Liberia. Actually, his background story is quite interesting. With his father and other family, he traveled all over the place, and during that process he decided to learn all the languages of the world when he was like a kid/teenager. And now those childhood dreams of being an astronaut or learning all the languages, they are good because it motivates you and so on, but usually when you grow up you become more realistic. Like for example, it is possible to become an astronaut, but it is very unlikely, and after a certain age it's not possible anymore. It's the same as play in any sport league. After a certain time you just have to move on if that didn't happen. But you can still continue to practice sport, and with astronaut you can still contribute to progress in some other way. For example, many scientists that you meet as a kid, they wanted to become an astronaut, but then they figured that their skills were somewhere else, but on the same field and on the same direction. So if somebody wants to learn all the languages of the world as a kid, it can be a starting point for the lifetime of learning some languages fluently and teaching them, and sharing the passion, helping people learn, so on. But for this guy that didn't happen. This guy, he started to promote himself as a polyglot, meaning a person who can speak 6+ languages, and he started to claim that he can speak more than 50 languages. Actually closer to 60, but let's go with more than 50 because it sometimes changes what he says, but it's 50 something. So I would say that is impossible, even like just straight not possible. Like even if you count languages that are very similar, it's just not possible. Like you cannot have that higher level because there are different levels of language learning, and there is that A, B, C, that scale. And to put that idea into very simple form is that there is tourist level of language. If you know how to say ni hao, you know how to ask like where is the hotel, where is the restaurant, can I see the menu in Chinese, then you are in a tourist level. And then that can include phrases from some other topics too, like who is your favorite artist, what kind of movies you like, It's like a polite small talk, and the idea is that you don't necessarily understand the answer, or you only understand simple like yes and no. But it's still like it helps you, it makes people around you more comfortable, and you are showing respect to the country where you are in by knowing a little bit of their language. Of course, like thank yous and all these like in that language. And that is nice, and that you could know in like 60 languages. And for example, guy that I've talked about a lot in this channel, Moses McCormick Laosu, he for example, he knows how to speak like I would say 50 languages, like at least like 20+ languages. He knows how to speak on that tourist level, like some very basic things that he has learned, and he has learned the same pattern in all those languages. And of course some of the languages he speaks better, but a lot of the languages are at that level, and that is nice. And then you can create those nice videos as long as you are honest about that is your level. Like you don't actually speak it, you speak a little bit of it. But anyway, so this guy is claiming that, this Fazah guy is claiming that he can read, speak and understand over 50 languages. Okay, that is a lot of saying. Like even if we put it in a friendly way, that he doesn't actually mean he's able to speak professionally. He means that he's able to speak, like understand some like basic discussion. Yeah, we can go with that. I still don't believe that, but anyway, this guy is claiming that, and he actually got to the Guinness Book of World Records. And that book, there is a lot of dispute about his credibility, but mostly it seems that when they measure things is pretty accurate. But of course, like measuring like are you able to speak a language is kind of complicated because you have to choose like what is the standard. And they tested him, he got in, and he was there from the early 90s until almost the end of 90s, until in 98 or 97 he appeared on Chile TV, not the name of the channel, just some channel in the country of Chile. I will post a link in the description, and this is the video. Unfortunately, I cannot like put you a commentary track because for copyright reasons. But anyway, in this video, he is told that he will not be tested. Like before, he's told he will not be tested on his language capabilities. So he comes and he talks hella game. He brags how he has helped the police, how he has like been the only person able to speak like some distant languages in Brazil and in Spain. And all of this is of course done in Spanish. So yeah, he is fluent in Spanish, Portuguese, English, Arabic, you know. So he is fluent in many languages. But so these guys, they actually put him to a test because you know they want to show this guy like, is he really all that great? And that is exactly the same thing I would do. I would be like invite them and then just start asking, especially because he's in the studio. He can't just run away, or even if he runs away, it's some good entertainment. Because if you interview online, they might fake some bad connection. You know, they can do a lot of things. But when they are in the studio, you can do what you want. So they test him first in Arabic, and of course, Arabic seems to be his native language. So he easily handles Arabic because a guy speaks to him in Egypt dialect, but it is close enough to the Lebanese dialect that they are able to communicate. Okay, he handles Arabic. Then the next language is language that I also speak, Finnish. And there's a Finnish woman who asks in very standard, very easy to understand Finnish. Like she talks some basic things. Like she talks about, yes, he says that like Finland has 3 main languages: Finnish, Swedish, and Sami, the language of the minority people living in the north, in Lapland. And then she says something about Finnish culture, and then she says like, what do you think is best about Finland? So even if you didn't understand the earlier part, if you would just understand that what is the best about Finland, even with tourist level language, you might be able to understand that, and you might be able to understand that like, I love the lakes, you know, like I love the people are so friendly. So you can be very generic and you can use very simple words, and you can prove that you understood that part even if you don't understand the other part. But he was not able to. He answered in very bad, like horrible Finnish. That is not even like tourism level, just horrible pronunciation, horrible grammar. The words for like off, they don't mean exactly what they think it means. And he was just trying to say like, I have never been to Helsinki, nobody helped me to learn Finnish, I learned on my own. And this actually reminds us of Laosu a little bit, that it seems to me that he has learned this same pattern in multiple languages. Like, I've never been there, I learned it on my own, because of course he hasn't, and he doesn't claim to have been in most of these countries. So, and then there's Chinese, and there's some other languages, and he just fails all of them. And yet there is Farsi too. He fails all of them because he doesn't actually know them. And like in Russian they ask him like, what day of the week it is, and he cannot answer. So if you know even the most basic Russian, you know how to answer to that. And even if you don't remember the day, you understand the question. But this guy didn't even understand the question. And this guy didn't understand Chinese question, which is like, what is the biggest man-made structure? What is the only man-made structure that you can see from space? And that is the Great Wall, allegedly. So he didn't understand that. He didn't even recognize the word Great Wall, which if you study any Chinese, you will learn. Just for like cultural reasons, and especially for a guy like him, you would think he would know, but no. So this guy is just total like a mess. And then later he appeared on the same show, and there he say like, oh, they were diplomats. Oh, they speak in like professional language. I only speak like casual language. But they did not speak in a professional language. They speak in a very normal language, and I got this confirmed from multiple of those languages. I played to people who speak those languages, they say that's very normal. That's most of it. Some were more complicated, but most are very basic questions. And like he only handle Arabic, and Arabic, like I would be really shocked if he can't handle Arabic. So that's pretty amazing. But then what is the funniest is that later he, because even at that time, of course, with the Guinness Book of World Records and everything, they drop his ass. But he's selling books and shit. He's selling cassettes and shit, to make some of that sweet, sweet money. So he tries kind of a comeback in YouTube, like it seems to be around 2010, that kind of area. So what he does is he is offering to like communicate with people in different languages and shit. Unfortunately, I don't have material, and sorry about the language, but this is so too funny, so I don't care. Like this guy, he's like offering to speak in people's languages, and of course he cannot. And he's like, some people are like impressed by him, and they're like, I believe in you, and they try to help him, but nah, it all just goes to hell in a handbasket. Like he cannot speak these languages. Even the languages that he speaks mostly are in heavy Lebanese accent. So like that doesn't mean that you cannot speak in that language, and that doesn't mean you cannot teach that language. But it's just that like, there is nothing special about this guy. He knows some languages, and he could teach them. And I think especially he could teach them from like Arabic to Portuguese, Arabic to Spanish, or like from Spanish to Portuguese. He can do those kind of compositions especially. But like there is nothing special about this guy, and all the lies and all the like the exposed that has been done on him. And like I think this is the only video about him being exposed. But like that Chilean video, it's just so well known that like, and if you Google his name, you will find that. So it's even in Wikipedia. So this guy is a mess, and we haven't heard from this guy for many years now. And I think hopefully he realized that okay, not gonna work this shit. Better just focus on my normal regular life. So I have no hate for this guy, but like this guy, like I'm so happy he got what he deserves in that Chilean show, because you just don't lie, and the thing is, once you lie once, it just grows bigger and bigger. So what we can learn from this guy is just let's stop lying, okay? So if you find this video in any way entertaining, subscribe to my channel for more language related content and some other thoughts that I have, but mostly language related. So see you on the next video.